Hi guys, and welcome to another video from Stupid as the Norm, the channel where we demonstrate how to become a millionaire in 10 years on minimum wage. And in this video I want to tell you about the very first step you must take in order to become wealthy. Imagine that for 40-50 years you'd paid for piano lessons, and after that time you were still crap at playing the piano. Would you consider that time and money well spent? Of course you wouldn't. And yet that's what most people do with work. They go to work for 40 or 50 years and have nothing to show for it right at the end. As I said in a previous video, Mark Twain said, if you find yourself on the side of the majority, it's time to pause and reflect. And here is the very first thing you have to recognize, the first step to take to become wealthy. And that is, if you're not wealthy right now, then you have to realize that what you're doing isn't working. If you're not wealthy right now, then you have to appreciate that what you're doing isn't working. You should be asking yourself, what is it that I am not doing, or what is it that I am doing that's preventing me from becoming wealthy? Maybe it's just because you've closed your mind, because you've decided that it's not for you, that the government is keeping the little man down and people like me never get a chance and all that sort of thing. Neil Donald Walsh has a mantra which allows him to keep his mind open, and it's this. He says to himself, there is something I don't know, the knowing of which will change everything. And that's what you have to start and do, is recognize what you're doing right now isn't working, and there are things you can do in order to become wealthy. Here's some things you might like to change. How about you don't spend all your money? How about you don't care what people think about you? How about you don't think that 38 hours is a full working week? How about you don't expect every weekend off? How about you don't go on holiday every year? How about you stop being normal? How about you stop being average? How about you don't look to buy the new car? How about you don't look to upgrade your wardrobe all the time? Any of these ring a bell? Becoming wealthy or making a change isn't a question of luck. It's a question of having a goal and then a plan and a determination to see the plan through to the end. Tony Robbins said you should call your goal your magnificent obsession. Saying you want to be wealthy and committing yourself to being wealthy are two very, very different things. And don't worry about what other people say to you. I remember Dante said one time, follow your own path and let the people talk. And what he meant was, don't listen to what people say. Don't worry about what people are going to judge you for. Do what you want to do. Let them talk. So I have a goal, as you know, and that's to become a millionaire in 10 years on minimum wage. I'm still getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Even after nearly 5 years, I'm still putting the grind in. I reckon it's another 2 years before I take time off. But you have to put the grind in. You have to recognize if you're not wealthy, you need to change. So look at yourself in the mirror when you're having a shave in the mirror, you're putting your makeup on, and ask yourself, is what I'm doing working? If it's not, then you have to make the change. It's the very first step to becoming wealthy. Recognize what you're doing isn't working and make that change today. Don't be stupid and don't be normal, guys.